Yo guys, what's up? It's WarSpirit. Got this little beast of a gameplay today on one of the new DLC maps, so I figured I'd better upload it and have a little chat with you guys on YouTube. So, new DLC maps are definitely awesome, guys. I really enjoyed the first DLC pack as well. I know a lot of people were a bit iffy on some of the maps, like Swampland wasn't a big favourite of some people, but I really enjoyed all the maps. But definitely with this DLC, I would say all three maps are way better than the first three maps that came out with the original DLC. They've definitely put a lot of work into these maps, and you can tell because there's a lot of nice little additions to these maps that weren't actually in other maps. You'll see later on in this video there's a little interactive element to some of the maps as well, where you can activate sort of switches or power supply things and set off electricity across the map to kill people. The other thing I really like about these maps is that I know a lot of the original maps as well have got incredible sort of atmospheres and themes going on behind the map. Like on Boneyard you've got the big dinosaurs stomping around and stuff like that. You've got the dragons flying around as well on Boneyard. But on these maps I feel that the atmosphere is just incredible because of the things going on sort of outside the map, and just, I don't know, the maps just feel awesome to play in. They feel realistic, like they're actual places in the world in a battle zone state, like a lot of the original maps were, which you can relate the campaign missions to. But for example, in the first DLC map pack, the atmosphere just wasn't there like it is for this map. Of course, one of them was a simulation, so it wasn't supposed to have that sort of epic battle zone feeling to it, or be lifelike at all compared to the locations that these maps are based in. So this one's called Export, and it's next to the water docks or something like that, and there's these boats that are constantly coming in, and these boats are picked up, they're full of coal or some sort of resource, and they're being lifted up and put on this bridge. And if you end up ejecting a way up onto this bridge that's carrying these ships, you'll see them travelling across this bridge and going to wherever they're going. It's really awesome, just sort of the whole transport thing going on, and like it doesn't benefit the map in any way, it doesn't benefit the gameplay in any way, it's just there. You can go a wee wander around the maps, guys, and have a look and see what you can find. The other maps have got stuff like that as well, but I just wanted to talk about Export today since we're just going to be looking at that map in this gameplay. And regarding the game modes on the new maps, I feel that they all work incredibly well on the new maps. Just, I don't know why, they just seem to, all the maps and all the game modes just seem to work perfectly well. Here I'm playing hardpoint on Export. The hardpoints are nicely spaced out, well balanced. There's A, which is your Titan cap point, and then there's B and C, which are pretty small rooms. So I was playing a little bit dodge the satchel as much as possible here. So there was a lot of satchel charges coming at me on some of these points, but managed to dodge most of them. I think I died once from a satchel charge. But the awesome thing about this map is the parkour, and the other maps as well have pretty nice parkour on them. I think Respawn have put a little bit more of a focus on the parkour element. So this map here is pretty much like a larger scaled version of Colony. You know, Colony, the one with all the buildings. So pretty much this is the same, except the buildings are slightly bigger and they're more, well, there's more buildings, they're covering the whole map. Colony's sort of a little concentrated town of buildings in the middle of the map, and this map has got buildings all over, but they're all sort of the same distance, like spaced out, where you can pretty much wall run from building to building. And then you've got all the inside areas of all the buildings as well, and these inside areas are slightly larger than the inside areas of the Colony buildings. And a lot of the houses as well in Colony don't actually have inside areas, but most of the buildings here do. So I mean, there's just loads of places you can go. That little bit there is actually the interactive element there. You shoot that blue electricity thing and it sets off a power surge, which electrifies anyone who's standing sort of up at the back of the map, where there's a big electric fence and a big power generator thing, which is pretty cool. So shoot that whenever you pass it, guys, and you might get a lucky kill or something down a Titan that might be sitting up there. If you ever see any Titans sitting up there shooting you across the map, then set off that power source. And I don't really know how much damage it does exactly, but it definitely does a lot of damage, and the longer you stay up there, the more damage it's going to do to you. The maps feel really, really big, although the gameplay on them is still very fast, especially on this map, just because of all the parkour, and you can get from point A to point B to point C in 10 seconds, easily jumping between buildings and parkouring and bunny hopping over everything. For Capture the Flag as well, this map is so fast. I played another day against a guy who'd clearly been practicing routes on the new maps already. I don't know how, but he'd been practicing routes. He must have been doing it in private matches with friends or something. I was playing CTF, and like, he was running routes on this map already in 10 seconds easily. I've not practiced any Capture the Flag routes or anything yet on the maps. I've just been running around pubbing on the maps. We've not done private or anything like that. And yes, I've picked up the flag a few times and tried to run it and find little routes that I could go with the flags, but not been working on perfecting any specific routes yet, so I'll need to have a look and see if we can do that at some point with private matches, which will be pretty cool. But the maps definitely have insane potential for competitive CTF, I think, more so than the the original DLC maps. War Games is a really good competitive CTF map because it's sort of really fast paced and a lot of people like that for competitive as well. I think this map here is probably the best one out of the 3 new maps for competitive Titanfall. This one is really fast and pretty balanced, it seems, for the objective based game modes. Also it's pretty balanced for the Titan fights as well, but the first time that I played this map was Last Titan Standing. It's probably the least balanced game mode for this map because one group of Titans spawn at sort of the bottom and another group spawn sort of at the back top of the hill, where they can pretty much have a high ground advantage straight away and just stay up there and shoot anyone who tries to push towards them. So you have to really pull off some insane flanking techniques. And I've actually ended up playing Last Titan Standing quite a lot on this map already, so I have gotten better about it, but my first experience of this map made me not really appreciate the map design so well. But once I got into it and played it a few more times on the different game modes, it improved the experience for me, and it's probably one of the best maps in the game at the moment. So if you don't have the DLC, which you probably should have the DLC, because I don't know how much longer this Variety Pack DLC 2 is going to stay populated for. Like, even on the first day, I stayed up pretty late because I wanted to play the new DLC maps, but even then it was still really hard to find games on the EU servers, so it's not like super popular all the time anyway. You're just gonna have to play it like the usual times when normal people play video games, like peak time 6 PM, 7 PM in the UK or Europe, wherever you are, or switch over to American servers if you want to play late at night, but it's just the same as the rest. The only thing that I thought was lacking on the new maps was the lack of turrets, which I thought there would be turrets on the new maps. I've not found anything that you can use your data knife on yet in the maps. There might be something somewhere, I don't know what it could be, but I've not seen anyone find anything like that yet. And there's no turrets here, which is weird because you'd thought they would include turrets on the new maps, because really there's not much else to use the data knife for, or that perk which increases your hacking speed. So like, I don't know, it'd be nice to have maybe 1 or 2 turrets on the maps, or like Smuggler's Cove and Nexus have turrets on those, so it adds another layer of strategy onto those hacking turrets and controlling turret locations, which is nice. So no turrets on the new maps, but it's not really bothered affecting the gameplay too much for me. I mean, if they were there it would affect the gameplay, obviously there'd be a new layer of strategy and competitive and stuff like that, but they're not there, so no need to worry about hacking turrets. Just focus on capping the flags. I don't really know what else you could do with the data knife. I was honestly expecting something maybe to do with data knives in the new maps. There's still, I guess, DLC 3, which they can come up with something new for them to hack, and they're also talking about new game modes, new featured game modes, which will probably have data knife hacking terminals controlling locations of the map, hacking control panels to win the game. If you have the DLC, you should definitely be playing it right now, because that's when everyone is playing it, and that's when you're going to have the best experience, because everyone, like yourself, is going to be exploring the maps, trying to find their way around. And then if you come back to the maps in like a few weeks or something, a lot of people might be much better at the maps, and you're not going to have as good an experience, and you're not going to get the chance to explore. You're going to get slaughtered from people who have found all the little sneaky points where people like to stand. Like on this sea hardpoint, I'm going to run in here, and like, I've never played hardpoint, so I don't really know the point where people stand in this map, but eventually there was a little guy hanging about the top of the stairs all the time. Yeah, he is here right now. Shoots me in the back, so that's a little spot up there. And if you're new to the map and you stand up there, you're gonna die a lot. so definitely start getting used to these maps, guys, and I don't know, learning the little tricks that people have found so far on them. I think there's going to be lots still to learn on these maps as well, and I'm just getting used to obviously parking around it. I like on this map there's sort of 2 zip lines in the middle with a little sort of cave or bridge thing in between, a little tower in between, which if you go from one zip line you can bunny hop just on the little ledge and then jump straight onto the second zip line and keep traveling really fast across there. So that's a little thing for you to work on as well if you get on one of the zip lines on this map. And watch out for, in the sea hardpoint, there's a fan above you here, which will kill you if you stand in the fan area for too long. It's like a rotating blade there which will kill you pretty quickly. So lots of little things like that on the new maps, which is awesome. We've also got update 5 there with some bug fixes, fixing that 120, 144 Hz bug, which has made my game so smooth now. And Mark for Death is actually mixed into the DLC playlist now, so it's not really a featured game mode like they said it would be disappearing after a week. It's still included in the actual rotation, so I wonder when they do introduce new game modes like this, like Mark for Death and other modes, if they will actually, if they're successful, obviously, like Mark for Death was successful and people wanted it to stay, if they're successful they'll just integrate those straight away into the Variety Pack playlist, which is actually going to end up having a ton of game modes in it if it does go like that. So it's going to be all the maps in the game, and then all the game modes that are in the game as well, And then you're basically you've got these little challenges that say play Pilot Hunter on Training Ground to get this award, and like, what? Pilot Hunter on PC on Training Ground? You don't stand a chance of seeing that ever come up in the public rotation. So I know one guy that I know has been working on that challenge for a while. He doesn't have a chance of ever completing that map, unfortunately. And that was actually one of the other cool new things added in Update 5, which was the introduction of new daily challenges. In this gameplay here, one of the daily challenges was get 10 kills with smart pistols. So there was a couple of smart pistol users in here, and that was today's challenge, or probably yesterday's challenge when you're watching this video. So like little challenges like that, where basically you're going to be playing Titanfall for a day, and probably today was a bad day to play Titanfall where everyone's going to be using the smart pistol. Yesterday's challenge, or 2 days ago challenge I mean, was the satchel charge, get 10 kills or 5 pilot kills with a satchel charge, something like that. I discarded that challenge straight away. You can abandon challenges, but you don't want to abandon challenges because basically I abandoned it thinking I would be getting a new challenge instead, but it just disappears. And with these challenges you earn credit points and little challenge whore achievements for those whores out there. The challenge whores, achievement whores, yeah, those ones. So they're pretty cool, and it also will keep people playing the game. I think it gives people something to achieve every day playing Titanfall, so they've got new challenges every day, so it's like, hey, I'm going to go play some Titanfall, complete my challenges, and then I can go do whatever I like else, for go play a different game if I want. So it's nice to bring a little bit of activity back into the game. It's not all just sort of simple challenges like get 10 kills with satchels. There's other things like kill 5 enemies with 1 arc cannon shot 5 times, stuff like that, which was a pretty hard challenge to complete, finding all those grunts that were bunched up on the maps. Lots of fun. But yeah, let's wrap this up. New maps, absolutely awesome, 10 out of 10. Yep, big 10 out of 10 obviously from me. Hope you enjoyed that little gameplay there, going on a rampage with the shotgun, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks very much for watching, bye bye.